In several of the past videos, I've noted that the first 2 Malibu Sands episodes started with babes. Can we keep the streak alive?
Show me boobs!
That's a shame. Well, it's time to celebrate July 4th. There'll be games, fireworks, and a Miss Liberty pageant.
I'm gonna enter.
Me too. No, you're not, Powers.
Yeah, we all know how you broke the Miss Bayside pageant, Screech. Zack is in charge of getting girls signed up for the pageant, and see if you can sense it.
Why didn't you sign up for the Miss Liberty pageant? You're good looking.
Sexual tension! Stacey will think about it. Slater is in charge of the games, and Lisa flaunts that she holds the club's obstacle course record. Now, we know that Slater is a specimen, but we also know that Lisa is athletic, so this could be fun. Also fun, Screech. Man, Dustin Diamond just commits to the pasty white bit. And listen to how concerned the studio audience gets for our little buddy. Back in the diner, and after Zack has promised to help her prepare, Stacey agrees to join the pageant, and oh, is Mr. Carosi excited. Now, I'm gonna take a moment here and address Zack's approach. This, as you likely know, is not how you walk up to a conversation. He didn't walk by and then turn because he remembered something.
So, have you made up your mind ready to sign up for the Miss Liberty pageant?
This is called cheating, where a character faces the camera as much as possible, even if it looks odd. We could also ask why Stacey is precariously close to the edge of that long booth bench, but it's to help Mr. Carosi's cheating not look weird. Why is he way back there if he's ultimately just gonna join her in the booth? Cheating! And speaking of cheating, Zack is made a pageant judge, and all of his lovely lady friends try to influence him to vote for them. Mr. Carosi has full confidence in the boy.
So I'll make it easy for you. Stacey wins.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. This is the exact moment Zack's ball dropped.
I look like a firecracker, don't I?
First off, this face is adorable. Also, yes, you do. You do look like a firecracker. The dress is awful, but it isn't a kiss deterrent. That's Slater's job. AC senses some pageant foul play, but Zack blows him off to ask Stacey to the after-pageant party. Now, as we start the celebrations, it should be good to know that Slater is playing drums, as his character always does, and Jessie is rocking her instrument of continuity. Also, Screech beefs it like always.
Howard, what are you doing?
Screech, you're supposed to be Uncle Sam.
Well, I am. This is what my Uncle Sam looks like.
So Samuel Powers was named after his Uncle Sam. That's not too crazy. I was named after my uncle, and I have a nephew named after me. The real question is if Uncle Sam is the lawyer.
Zack, don't say another word until we talk to my Uncle Shyster, the lawyer.
Let the games begin!
Oh yeah! It's time for the big race between Lisa and Slater. Spoiler alert, Lisa wins. There's a lot to say about this race, so hopefully you are the type of viewer that enjoys my detailed door musings and U2 tour analyses. Lisa, rocking blue for the members team, lines up on the outside, while Slater, in red, gets the inside path. They run in flippers up to the limbo, then switch lanes at the beams, almost like a fair race. They switch again after hurdling the loungers. I thought that was a fun attention to detail.
I lost. I lost bad. I lost to a girl.
Yeah, you did. Let's look at how. They both start in flippers, but suddenly Lisa's are off and Slater gets tripped up. She must have kicked hers off during this split-second camera switch. At the limbo, both cheat. Lisa goes halfway down, then bails, and Slater just flops and then bails. And hits his head and knocks the stick off, breaking the most important rule in limbo. Lisa flies through the beam while Slater flies off the beam. I'm gonna give some props to Mario Lopez. Bro literally Supermaned onto his hands and knees in the sand. The tube is no problem for smaller Lisa, while Slater has to Sammy Seal his way out of it. Slater, You should have had the upper hand in this kingdom you built with your own two hands.
I lost. I lost bad.
Our last note for the race scene involves Jessie, who, due to still being on the mend, kicks up her other leg.
Me? A cheerleader? I'm class president, not some silly schoolgirl.
You know what, Jessie? It's getting harder and harder to take your anti-cheerleading stance seriously. At the Wheelbarrow race, 2 staff teams take on 1 member's team? Carosi and Miles Edgewater cheat to win, but at least they did it tenderly so that Jessie could fall favorably with that knee. Why didn't they have to sabotage the other team? Well, because Screech is a Nimrod, and even though he wasn't the one blindfolded, still managed to veer entirely off course. Now the next event is the Tug-of-War, and I just can't help getting Zack's War vibes. I mean, not only do both episodes have a tug-of-war, but both have an obstacle course. And it doesn't stop there. You see these tubes with the hazard coloration? Guess what they just painted for the beach tubes? And then we have the colors. Sure, red and blue are classic opposing team colors. And sure, the colors make sense in Zack's War because America and stuff. And sure, the colors work here because more America all the time. So while the colors make sense, they also draw attention to how similar these story beats are. One thing that's different, though, is that Slater didn't get beat by no dame. Back to the color commentary. I initially thought it was odd having Mr. Carosi on the members team while Stacey repped with the staff, but now I just view it as the 2 people in charge fairly splitting up. Lisa's shorts are another thing. While she's a member, I like that she rocks a little red in solidarity with her staff friends.
And now for something completely different.
I would watch the F out of this movie. Aside from Mr. Carosi's flamboyant leap into the insanely deep losers pool, the only thing I want to note here is that, yes, the staff team did have Slater, but the members had this guy. How did they lose? Back to this guy? Check out Blondie totally copping a feel. And then she's like, thumbs up! What I did was okay! And he's like, nah, no it wasn't. Hashtag masculinism. Hashtag believe men. On to the Miss Liberty pageant. Where did these ladies even get such patriotic clothes? And let's see, we don't know Dallas Cowboys cheerleader boots girl, excellent miniskirt brunette, or hot pants terrible top lady, so these must be our finalists.
Now, each of the finalists will tell us what the 4th of July means to them.
Lisa, looking fantastic as the conductor of the Funkterground Railroad, of course talks about fashion sales. Jessie white guilts herself right out of the running, and Stacey gushes about time with family. Kelly nearly gets skipped, then gives the perfect answer. It's like she's done this before. Certainly a far cry better than her Miss Bayside answer.
I don't think it's enough to believe in peace. You have to cheer it along. Like?
Give me a P. E-A-C-E. P-E-A-C-E. Yay, peace!
As a side note, by the time the Malibu Sands episodes were being produced, Tiffani had moved out to live on her own at age 16. I think it's kind of funny that Kelly didn't get the spend time with family answer. The votes are in, and Zack's tie-breaking decision is for Kelly, who gets a firecracker crown that doesn't stay on. Wait a minute. What does the winner get?
The winner gets a $500 government savings bond.
I'm gonna enter.
And you're going to win. But just what is a government savings bond? Well, to answer that, we're going to have to leave the beach and get back into school. Unlike a share in a company that can increase or decrease in value, a government or treasury bond is guaranteed growth. For example, let's say you bought $499.80 of Intel stock at the beginning of 1991. At $1.19 per, that's 420 shares. Then you sell those 420 shares the beginning of January in 1992 for $638.40. You made $138.60 in a year. You put up all the money, you hoped it would grow, and it did, about 28%. But let's say instead you invested in IBM and bought 18.5 shares for $26.98 each. You sell at the end of the year, but the prices drop to $21.54. You lose $100.64. You put up all the money, you hoped it would grow, and it lost you 20% of your investment. And as we learned from Good Morning Miss Bliss, when you lose in the stock market, you have to physically sell the product to make your money back. The en vogue EE bond of the early 90s operated differently. It was an investment backed by the United States, and because you knew the interest applied, you also knew its value in the future, making bonds the less risky investment. But here's the misleading thing. A $500 bond was not worth $500 right away. That was the target value. EE bonds were purchased at half value, meaning Mr. Carosi paid $250. Based on historical tables, Kelly would have had to wait 12 years before that bond was actually worth $500. One other thing is that you can keep holding on to a bond, but it stops generating interest at 30 years. So by the time Kelly is looking like this, that bond could top out at $1,060. So, hooray? Let's stop speculating about investments and start speculating on Zack's motives. He clearly likes Stacey, yet he had to vote for the stronger candidate, even if he did talk Stacey into entering and promising to help her win. And then Screech blabbers about Zack and Kelly's past relationship and figures that Zack's vote was to win Kelly back. So of course their date is off, and of course Zack's betrayal gets him fired. Two things bother me about this scene. First, Blue Shirt also voted for Kelly, but we don't see him draped in Kapowski and flashing cool peace signs. Second, Screech ruins everything, but this instance felt off, and I think I know why. In most cases, Screech has direct knowledge or facts that he's supposed to keep secret. Here, however, Bro is just blabbing to force some conflict. The misunderstanding just feels cheap. I mean, it's literally one Slater pimp walk later, and the girls get everything ironed out.
The truth is, Zack likes you.
Really?
Yeah, really. You know, being a judge must have been really hard for him.
Thank you for opening up to me. The fight is over.
Okay.
Cool. So Stacey goes to find Zack, and we get a legit Screech moment.
I fired him because he wouldn't vote for you like I told him to. Oops.
More!
You tried to fix the Miss Liberty pageant?
Yes, only because you deserve to win.
Parents, am I right? And then we get a great yet unconventional Steadicam shot of the beach at sunset. As Stacey apologizes, I can't help but wonder where the obstacle course and pageant decorations all went, especially since we know that the staff is partying down.
You know, Screech, you're a really good dancer.
Thanks, Kelly.
But you should already know that. We've danced before. Oh, shut up, Dustin Diamond. Jessie's got herself a Kendall. We don't care, because this scene is about two things. Zack getting his job back, and Stacey finally getting Zack's vote. Corrupt Miles Edgewater was played by Edmund L. Shaff, a regular in stage plays. He had tons of on-screen work, so I'm only going to mention things in which he played a man of the cloth, like a minister in Quantum Leap, a chaplain in Space Above and Beyond, a minister in Significant Others, a minister in Providence, the Reverend Shelton in According to Jim, and a reverend in The Norm Show.
Finish the ceremony, Reverend.
All right. I now pronounce you...
No, you do not pronounce them, you dirty, dirty bastard! I'm sorry, holy man of God!
So why just a list of his holiest of appearances? Because he also plays the minister in Wedding in Las Vegas. With the speaking part, you'd think Edmund would get our credit. Nope. But Jacquelyn Hyde gets one. Who is Madonna Schwarzkauf? This is Jacquelyn's picture, and the only person that could be her is this lady. I assume the character name is a joke by the writers. In 1991, Madonna performed at the Oscars and name-dropped Gulf War General Schwarzkopf. So, you know, Madonna Schwarzkopf. And now let's talk about Leon Carosi. Stacey's dad is played by Ernie Sabella. If you have any exposure to The Lion King, whether it be the original movie, the sequels, TV shows, read-along videos, video games, whatever, you know him as Pumbaa. Well, except for the live-action movie. I hope you're proud of yourself, Seth Rogen. Ernie had appearances in shows like Cheers, She's the Sheriff, and Mad About You, with extended appearances in It's Your Move, Perfect Strangers, and Encore Encore. Aside from Saved by the Bell, the thing I remember for him is this odd appearance on Seinfeld. So let's see if you can scrub that image out of your brain.
So as my Uncle Sam would say, have fun, enjoy. When do we eat?